friends, be you koi, terrans, rigelians, or any other interplanetary creatures, to this week's episode of Science Fiction Fantasies. Compulsion is the irresistible urge to behave in a certain way, especially against one's conscious wishes. This week's episode is about a family's generational compulsion. Sit back and relax, if you can, and enjoy Day of Beginning. Anticipation of the Day of Beginning celebration hung in the clear cerulean sky. Ardeshir especially looked forward to the celebration this year. Once every 40 years, the responsibility of being first of the Republic of Koi was handed from father to son. Even more important, Ardeshir's son, Payman, would take over the task of fulfilling the compulsion.
Payman, come to the balcony. You do not want to miss the launch of the colony ships.
If you insist, Father.
The silken robe fits you well. Gold is a good color for you. Here, let me adjust your sash. The bold red slash must set just so.
I'll wear the sandals, Father, but I'll not wear that brightly colored feathered headdress. I won't.
You will once you become shaman. Trust me.
On Koi, only the shaman wore the headdress. It represented the burden the shaman bore for the people. Of late, that burden showed mostly around Ardeshir's eyes. They were tired, ready for release. Payman's face was still fresh and untouched. His posture, however, revealed a desire to be elsewhere. Ardeshir swept an arm outward in a grand gesture. Before the pair was the broad expanse of Aratu, Koi's capital city. Clean and orderly, it sparkled in the morning light. To the north was the Academy of Knowledge, where the colonists had trained for the last 9 months. Directly ahead, nestled on a large island in the middle of the River Majestic, was the spaceport. Pointing up like the 3 fingers on Ardeshir's hand were the colony ships that were about to launch.
By day's end, Payman, you will be co-ruler of all of this. Yours will be the one constant voice for 40 years.
Father, I don't want...
Motion interrupted Payman. The first of the colony ships rose silently skyward. It was followed by the other 2 in quick succession.
I miss the ponderous thunder and roar of the early space vehicles. Back then, they shined like a beacon as they clawed their way into the sky, sitting atop a blinding light, visible for miles. The sight declared that the people of Koi were mighty and wise. Of course, the demonstration of true wisdom is in the use of the new gravity drives that need no fuel. But without the thunder and the light show, there is no pomp and ceremony. Have you nothing to say?
No, Father.
Well, they're gone. I don't know about you, but having watched the departure of the colonists, I feel more at ease. It's a compulsion, you know?
No, Father, I don't know.
That's because you're not shaman yet, and don't understand the need to reach into space. But you will soon. Today, you turn 30, and I 70. Today, this all becomes yours. Let us celebrate.
Are you that anxious to be done, Father?
Yes, I am.
Then it will dishearten you to learn that I will not accept the position of first.
Ardeshir's heart stopped beating for several moments. He knew Payman was not enamored with accepting his responsibilities, but he had hoped it wouldn't come to a refusal. Refusal only made it worse. Ardeshir put his arm around his son's shoulders and led him back into the room reserved for formal visitors.
You will be first.
No, Father, I will not.
There is not much time before the ceremony. Have a seat. You are not the first to decline, Payman.
Father!
No, listen to me. I know you have been taught the history of Koi. You can recite the unbroken succession of firsts. But, as you can imagine, there is a version for public consumption, and then there is what actually happened.
Excuse me?
As you know, a son is born to the first on his 30th birthday. A son that will take up the burden of the compulsion.
I've made up my mind. No story is going to change it.
We shall see. Now, be silent and listen. 2,630 years ago, the chill breeze off the river made Namtar shiver despite the thick pelt that covered his body. He looked up at the sun. It was low to the horizon and had an orange tint to it. According to Namtar's beliefs, it would soon make the trip to its bower, where it would sleep away the night. There would be no more warmth until the sun woke up and returned to the sky with the new light. Namtar looked longingly across the river to the island. He wished he had a way to cross over. On the island, his people would be safe from the beasts that hunted at night. Tearing his gaze away from the island and its promised safety, he straightened his normally stooped posture and looked about for Sari, his mate. She was gathering the herbs and roots that grew along the riverbank. She would make the smashed tubers and greens he liked so much. A light in the darkening sky caught his attention. Namtar often watched the lights at night when he could not sleep. This one was different. It moved. Not like the slow, steady march across the sky that took all night, or the bright streak that crossed in a flash. It was like the glow bugs of late renewal and early growing time, going here or there with no apparent purpose.
Sari, woman, where are you?
There was no answer. Namtar kept his eyes on the light in the sky. It was growing larger.
Sari, come now.
I am here, Namtar. What are you looking at?
I do not know.
You called. I am here. Let us get back to the people.
There, that light. Do you not see it? It grows larger. It is coming towards us.
Namtar, what is that light in the sky? It is brighter than the rest. I am scared. Let us go. Namtar! Namtar!
It was too late. Namtar was rooted to the spot. Moving faster than any object he had ever seen, the light flashed towards them. It stopped directly above them. Namtar felt himself rising into the air. He wanted to scream. He opened his mouth, but no sound came out. He turned his head and saw Sari rising with him. The next thing he knew, Namtar felt the heat on his eyelids. He opened his eyes and saw that the sun had woken and climbed back up into the sky to watch over the people.
No, that's not right. The sun doesn't move. Koi does. Sari, wake up.
Namtar, what happened?
I don't know. I had a hat on my head. Someone I couldn't see was talking to me. It told me to put the tubers in the ground where I wanted them to be. It showed me how to make tools. It told me how to cross the river. It told me to tell no one. Sorry, we mustn't tell anyone what happened. Not even your mother. Oh, that chatty chatter friend of yours, Mina.
Not even Mina? But Namtar, she is my best friend.
Especially not Mina. You must swear. You must promise.
All right, Namtar. I promise.
Even though Namtar managed to wrangle a promise out of Sari, he had the feeling there was something she wasn't telling.
Father, are you saying that Namtar, first of firsts, was barely humanoid and that he was abducted by extraterrestrials?
The shock on your face tells me that you don't believe me. I didn't believe my father when he told me either. But that was before...
Before what?
Nothing at all. Pay attention and remember, one day you will tell this tale.
Not likely.
So you say. Listen and remember. Days became weeks, then months. Sari had been true to her word. She told no one, not even after it was obvious she was pregnant. She didn't even tell Namtar. But he knew. The same something that had changed his life had changed Sari's too.
Let me guess. She was artificially inseminated.
I almost prefer the silent son to the mocking one.
I'm sorry, Father. Almost. What do you mean?
Because of your passion, you will fight the truth all the harder. Then, after your conversion, you will pursue the compulsion with even greater vigor.
Father, you are so mistaken.
Ardashir looked over at the timepiece. The truth was only moments away. Sympathy threatened to overwhelm him. He really did want to be the one to prepare Payman for what was about to happen. The procedure was painful at first, but even worse if one is unprepared. Ardashir took up the story once again.
No, my son. It is you that are mistaken. But as far as Sari, you are correct.
Father, please, you're wasting your time. I will not become first. I will not change my mind.
There is nothing to change. The choice was made long ago. It only lacks fulfillment.
Father, what are you doing?
I'm revealing the truth. It's time for you to know.
Ardashir took off his headdress, revealing the skull cap underneath it. He then reached and removed the cap. Payman's eyes grew wide. His father never allowed anyone to see him bareheaded. Payman bolted up from his chair.
That's not possible. It cannot be.
Pale and shaken, Payman fell back into his chair. The sight of a perfectly symmetrical grid of receptacles protruding from his father's skull was more than he could handle. Tiny arcs of energy flickered among them.
No!
Yes, Payman. They are voice-to-skull receptors. Through them, I communicate with the teachers. They are the ones that have been guiding the Koi all along. Jahangir, son of Namtar and Sari, was the first. With the Koi, however, there is a limit as to how long our bodies will safely accept them. That limit is 40 years. My time is over. Yours is about to begin.
Ardashir pitied his son. Payman's terror-filled eyes flicked rapidly back and forth, seeking escape. There was none.
No, it can't be true.
It doesn't matter whether you believe it or not. Your time has come. Turn around. Say hello to Enki.
Payman turned slowly. Standing behind him was a man a little taller than Payman, but not by much. Payman was slightly heavier, and his hair was not quite as blonde. Two more men materialized behind Enki.
Payman, stand between those two men. No harm will come to you.
Father, please!
The next phase of your coming of age is about to begin. You are about to become a shaman.
Father, no!
Why so sad? You know Payman will be fine, just like the young man who did his duty 40 years ago.
Yes, I know. Did my father feel as bad as I do?
Of course, you struggled much more, and, as you are now, he was free. Are you ready to take out your receptacles?
Not to sound ungrateful for all you have done, old friend, but I have been ready for some time.
Then let us go to the ship. You're going to like space. The universe is an awesome place.
Payman learned the definition of compulsion the hard way. Soon he will see life in a different light. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode, Day of Beginning. Join us again next week at this time for another episode of Science Fiction Fantasies. Until then, whatever compels you, whatever drives you, keep your head up and dream big. The universe is an awesome place. Good night.